Hello.
All right. So, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our another session on how to make a successful career in accounting and finance. As you may already know, my name is Zay Sayer. This is our third session in the series of how to make a successful career. We've already done two sessions in the previous 2 months. One was international tax, which we did with CA Akshay Kenkre. And then we also did one last month, which was with Chaitanya Yadav on how to make a career in international banks. Today we have a very special guest, a very good friend of mine, a very old friend of mine, colleague as well, but I would like to call him more of a friend because we made sure that despite all these years of not working together, we stayed in touch. Another good thing is that our birthdays follow each other, so we make sure that we call each other on our birthdays. Otherwise, our birthdays are incomplete. So I have with me Anant Acharya, who is a chartered accountant, I think I will leave the whole introduction to Anant. Anant, over to you. Would you like to please share your introduction?
Yeah, hello everybody. Am I audible clearly?
Yes.
Yeah, so hello everybody. I'm Anant Acharya. I'm a director in SRBC, that's a member firm of Ernst& Young, EY. I've been with the firm for now almost 18 years, 18 and a half years. So I can say I have, grown up, born and brought up as a professional in EY. Started off with my internship in EY and then got cleared as a chartered accountant and now working as a director at director level in EY. Thanks to Zahir to give me an opportunity to connect with so many people and share my experiences as well as happy to clear some of your doubts, some of your queries, and share my experiences on this platform. So I am basically into audit. So in the EY, I am in assurance department, which basically deals with the statutory audits of the company. So I've been doing audit for now almost 18 years as I joined EY. Yeah, Zahid. So I think that's a short introduction from my side. You can continue now.
Sure. Thank you so much, Anant. Well, Anant is Anant after all because he's the most humble director you will ever come across. He will always like to play it down like it's nothing. But we all know how difficult it is to actually, crack first of all a job at EY, a big four firm, and then being there for long enough so that eventually from an article, from an intern, you become a director. Now, the next position, obviously, for him is a partner, which I think it is a dream of every chartered accountant, to become a partner at a big four firm like Ernst and Young, and that is the crux of our discussion today. Because a lot of folks, that we meet, and I teach as well. Anant is aware that I, have given up my corporate career and now I am into hardcore training and teaching. Though I am not very far away from finance and accounting, I continue to do that. But yeah, I am now more into training and I do meet a lot of, CA, ACCA, CFA, CMA students, who will always, want to know how do we make a career in Big Four. And of course, अगर मैं बताता हूँ तो सबको लगता है सर तो सर को जो मन करेगा सर वही बोलेंगे, right? So to make sure that we continue to get that independent view. I thought that Anant will be the right person. Having stayed in the Big Four firm the longest enough, like anyone know, I think he will be able to share a very good perspective. Now, obviously, there is paucity of time. We do not have hours and hours that we can cover a lot of things. However, I do have certain questions for Anand, which we usually cover. And then post that, we will have a very short Q&A session for you guys as well who've logged in into the session here on Zoom, as well as a lot of students and people have logged in on YouTube as well, because we try to post this on YouTube as well. And if anyone wants to keep a track of these series, you can always subscribe to the channel Zaid Sayed, where you will see every month we are doing one of these sessions. So if you put in any comments, etc., I'll be more than happy to pick it up with any of the previous speakers as well, right? So coming to our session for today, first of all, Anant, in terms of your journey with Big Four, because everyone is like, "Yare, humko bhi Big Four mein hi lagna hai," and there are hundreds and thousands of people who qualify as a CA. Forget jo pad rahe hain, wo to dusri baat hai. You and I both know that there are so many qualified chartered accountants and ACCAs and CPAs and all that, right? And they all want to work at a Big Four. In your views, because you do a lot of interviews as well, you hire a lot of people as well. Can you share your journey as to how you make sure that you survived at EY? As someone who started only as an intern. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think I would say it requires a lot of hard work, persistence, and you should have a long-term goal of what you want to do in your life. I think that is the critical thing. And obviously, when you join as an intern, you are unaware of many things. You join as a fresher, and you're excited to do the work, to learn, and to and audit is a profession actually where you tend to meet a lot of companies. The companies are open to you. They open their books of accounts, which is unlikely in any other profession. I think audit is the only profession where you will get to know the process, the intricacies of the business. You would be meeting the different business heads, different people, and different spheres of industry, which will broaden your horizon. I think that's a great learning experience which you will have. At the same time, you will have to be ready to put in your hard work and to give your 100%, because without it, it will not be possible to survive in EY, or for that matter, any Big Four, or for anywhere else. And chartered accountant being CA being a very professional course. When you're doing an internship, you have to keep your mind open because you have to prepare for your exams also. So keeping that in mind, you have to even give your 100% to the firm while working. So that becomes a very challenging at sometimes. How do you maintain a balance between your personal life, your professional life, and not to forget that your aim is to become a chartered accountant first. So that's your main motto. So the best thing is to learn while you're working, get the experience, and use that experience in your exam. I think that is the important thing which I have learned. And during my internship, you, I know you, I used my all the audit knowledge, experience which I gained. And in fact, for my chartered accountant examination, the audit subject was a cakewalk for me. I mean, I didn't have to prepare much or focus much on audit because that we were doing practically, which I think may be little lacking when you do from a small firm, because there you may not be able to get so much of exposure which you get in the big fours, and that becomes your learning platform also. So I would suggest that keep your mind open, have that learning uh, uh, hunger for learning open, and that will help you in your professional development also as a professional, also in your examinations. So that clearly goes a long way to help you in your examinations. I think that's a crux. And as I said, you have to there's no shortcut in life. You have to give your 100% when you are here.
Great, 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 great. Thank you. So I think the key message obviously is that you need to keep pushing yourself. Hard work, there is no substitute for hard work. and of course,
True.
being smart as well, especially when you have to juggle with your exams, your personal life, and your professional life. It is never going to be easy, and I think that is what something that I tell the students as well every time, that we all love the fact that before me, बढ़िया offices होते हैं, बढ़िया clients, and you get all the money possible, but the fact is that you work crazy. Yeah, you work. I'm not taking anything away from the people who do not work at a big four, but at least having worked at a big four, Anant and I can both vouch for the fact that there is crazy amount of efforts that goes in. And the best part about the efforts is that every single thing that you do is a learning. Like Anant already mentioned that, CA के exams में audit का paper पढ़ने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ी. And I'm sure we will all agree to the fact that yes, it does help, to a great extent. Okay, great. So I think moving to the next question, then Anant, what I wanted, for our students to know is that, especially, with India becoming more global, India, growing at a pace. Of course, the COVID has taken out a lot of steam from the fire engine. But just 1 second, huh? Just 1 second. I think. Uh, Hang on. I think Anant has. Yeah, yeah.
Mute.
Can you
Yeah.
unmute yourself?
Good.
Okay, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
It went on mute.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
coming to the next question, I was saying that with India growing so fast, of course, Corona has impacted everyone. But nevertheless, I think, we continue to be on a very good space, and we continue to grow quite well. What would be your take in terms of, when the students think about, this globalization, this, companies all over the world coming to India to set up their businesses. Uh, do you think Indian market is now ready to start accepting, like we have CA, other qualifications as well?
Yeah, I think obviously yes, because Indian market has been lucrative, and it will be lucrative going forward. Also, you can see the level of investment which is happening in India. I think Corona is just a passing phase. I would not say this is like a permanent thing, and it would definitely, you know, pass away. However, the continuing trend of investment, the continuing trend of globalization, will surely require that you have a professional degree, you have a professional qualification, and also, this globalization will, lead to what I feel is, you working from here for some other country. So I think that's the change which we are now seeing. Like, for example, work from home is a simple concept which was not being explored so much in India. I think that is being explored now. And with more of work from home, you may be doing work for US or UK or for any other country from, here. So I think in this, when you in this changing environment, I think professional degrees of the qualifications such as IFRS or likewise in US CAP or your specialization in other uh, courses will definitely help you. I think that should not affect. I think that's a continuing trend, and we see that we also encourage not only CA, but if you have right now Ind AS, as you are aware that Ind AS is there, which is in line with IFRS. But even before Ind AS, when the Indian gap was not converged with IFRS, now it had become a mandatory that with the globalization, your accounting standards also converge with the international standards. So this is also a trend which shows that you are adopting towards a global accounting standard, and this pattern will continue. So any learning of any professional degrees of any other countries will surely be helpful in your career.
Lovely, lovely. Thank
Yeah.
you so much. I think, and I'm sure a lot of people, we unfortunately do not have too many people logged in right now because, थोड़ा short notice पे हमने ये किया था session.
Yeah.
But, eventually when people, watch this video on YouTube, I'm sure they will be happy to hear, from say a horse's mouth that yes, it is not about just the local qualifications. The international qualifications have also started to pick up and become a lot more acceptable. And the reason behind that is not because international hai to bahut acha hai. It is because we ourselves have gone international. We ourselves have become globalized. We go out everywhere. Our lovely PM, he goes out everywhere and talks about make in India. Yeah. Now, if we are going to go and say this to the whole world, when they come in, they will want people in India to understand how their accounting system works. And I think that is where these international qualifications started to help. So I'm pleased to see that we are on the same page on that one. So coming to the crux now, because Anant, as I mentioned right at the start, because you are part of the hiring team as well, and you hire right from say interns right up till senior manager level at Big Four. So say people who are pursuing qualifications which is say not local, they are not a local chartered accountant, but they are say for example ACCA. Like I'm an ACCA and I remember 2008 में जब मैंने इंटरव्यू दिया था, उस टाइम पे हमारे पार्टनर गोविंद अहुजा हुआ करते थे. And obviously the time was very different. I'm talking about 12 years ago. At that time ACCA लोगों को नहीं पता था, CFA CMA ये सारे courses इतने नहीं थे. But today now with so much of education, and people of course are marketing it appropriately as well. So according to you, how do you see an ACCA or a similar international qualification students or members making their career in Big Four? You think that is possible?
I think surely yes, because I am when you talk about Big Four, it's not only audit. There are other spheres. There are other departments, other service lines which also look for such qualifications. For example, if I have to say, we have like financial accounting and advisory services, which specialize in the accounting advice to the clients. So in such spheres, you would need, in-depth knowledge of the accounting other than Indian GAAP. Indian GAAP, yes, sure, because you have, the companies in India. However, you need to do a lot of reporting to the other countries. Like for example, your company's listed, your company shares would be listed in some other countries, and you need to do a lot of reporting to US, UK, and all in the accounting as per the accounting standards of the respective countries. So a lot of consulting happens on the requirement of the compliance with the accounting standards, taxation laws, or any other regulatory requirement, which requires a little bit of specialization of that country. So in case of the such courses like ACCA or the courses relating to IFRS or US GAAP, that will surely help develop their career. I think then you can specialize in your respective field also, and this will give you a cutting edge over the others. I mean, I may not be that thorough with IFRS or for the US GAAP, and a person with CPA would be would be at a beneficial position to deal with the accounting standards, and that's how we interact with somebody who has done CPA, or somebody who has done or from when we interact with the our US team or UK team to get an understanding of more of the accounting issues and what could be the challenges. And surely this will, I think, from an industry perspective also, this would help the people to grow in the career, because as we are seeing that with the globalization, as I said, IFRS in there is no much difference. So even if you do some courses in IFRS, that will be an accounting course, and then this will surely help in the career as a CFO or a higher level positions in the industry. So I think we are open to the international. I think we as a profession should be open to the other courses, other international courses. I think that will be uh, a boost to their career.
Wow, wow, chalo, good. Thank you. So I think I'm sure a lot of people who are listening in and eventually will listen in they will, breathe nice and easy now, especially hearing it from yourself that it is no longer about कि भाई आप local qualification करोगे तो ही आप locally काम कर पाओगे. Because I think, see, everyone has that problem. Now, when I was coming back from UK, because I did my ACCA from London, because those time no one really knew about ACCA here in India. But when I came back, a lot of people said, "Arey, you should really stay back in the UK. Why are you coming back?" But now, me being me, I'm always very patriotic. So coming back, I was unsure. But believe you me, even at the time when I had very little experience as far as audits are concerned, even at that time, I had an opportunity from KPMG as well as EY. Yeah, and I'm talking about zero experience in the local Indian audit scenario. Yes, I was working as an accountant prior to going to London. But the fact is, audits was completely new for me. But still, like Anand said, that you as a professional will add a value, not just because you have that qualification, but because you have an overall understanding of the standards which are going to be similar wherever you go. Debit ही रहेगा, credit ही रहेगा, right? Yes, there are certain changes, and the good news is that because now uh, our accounting standards in India has also converged, to Ind AS, which is closely aligned to the IFRS standards. I think it is a great space to be in right now for anyone, not just who's doing a CA course, but also doing an international course, because you will be able to get an opportunity here. Now, again, I don't want you to take away a message that नहीं मैं CA छोड़ के मैं ACCA में आ जाऊंगा and vice versa. This is all about educating. Here there is no selling. Anant will never agree to a session if it was going to be a sales session. We are here about educating, because मेरे कुछ students logged in भी हैं, and they also ask me a lot of time कि सर अगर हमको EY में या KPMG PwC में काम करना है, how do we go about it, right? So coming to now, the question which is going to be the closest for all the students who are pursuing these international qualifications, and again local qualification as well, because we said right at the start कि अगर कितने निकलते होंगे अनंत, आई थिंक एवरी ईयर एटलीस्ट 10,000 तो सीए बनते होंगे, आई थिंक.
Yeah, sure, somewhere.
है ना, 10,000
Yeah,
बनते
almost.
होंगे. And I think almost every person who becomes a chartered accountant, they would want to work for a big four, चाहे फिर वो CA हो, ACCA हो, CPA हो. So now, because you interview people, can you share some thoughts around what is it that people can do, चाहे फिर वो ऑडिट के लाइन में आए. जैसे मुझे याद है when I got interviewed, तो मुझे गोविंद सर ने सीधा यही बोला कि अच्छा तू बता तेरे को IFRS स्टैंडर्ड्स में कौन से स्टैंडर्ड बहुत अच्छे से आते हैं, राइट? नाउ दैट वाज हिज क्वेश्चन. दैट टेक्निकल हो गया था, बट ही वाज जस्ट ट्राइंग टू प्रोबेबली वाइंड मी अप. नाउ you as a someone who's going to be recruiting people at all the levels, what is it that you look for? Do you only look for कि भाई इसने CA किया है तो ही मैं हायर करूंगा, इसने ACCA किया है तो मैं नहीं हायर करूंगा, or is it a lot more than just the degree?
Yeah, I think it's a lot more than just the degree. It's your overall personality, or it's your overall knowledge of the field which you want to go in. If you want to go in for audit, I mean, what's your level of understanding for audit? How do you see the audit? What has been your experience? Or your one is your technical part, which as you said, we can focus on IFRS, Indes, and all the technical stuff, all the technical literature. So that's one part. But your overall understanding of the position, your overall understanding of the standards or the technical aspect, and how do you interpret and how do you present it. I think that's more important. It's an overall package. We don't see only for a with a degree, okay, you are a chartered accountant, then you are, fit for the role. I think it goes more beyond the chartered accountant. It's how do you deal with the situation. If you see a lot of our interviews would, when I take interviews, I focus on one is take technical. Of course, technical is given. I think that when if you are a chartered accountant or a ACCA, I would see that you should be thorough with your standards and you should be thorough with your technical. That's the given part. But there are various scenarios. There are various positions where how do you interpret your accounting standards? How do you, present it? Or sometimes it may not be a right or a wrong answer. It was always a gray answer. So how best you can, interpret those situations and present yourself. I think that is more key. It's not only the degree which will help you get in the Big Four. Otherwise, most of them would have been in the Big Fours working. So it's not I think it's on the overall personality. It's more on how you develop yourself. It's not only the technical aspect, how you will deal with the team, because you will eventually lead to a position where you will be leading the team, okay, where you will be meeting the clients, where you will be interacting with different people. So how you would be dealing in a difficult situation, how would be, what would be your how you would interact with your team, how would you deal with a difficult situation when you're interacting with your team. I think these are all critical aspects which is looked at, and of course, it will be looked at a different level. So if you're there for a executive level or for a manager level or for a senior manager level, we know, what would be their role at that position, and accordingly, how best they will fit in that role. That would be judged in an interview. So it's not only the degree that counts. It's the, as I said, it's an overall perspective needs to be looked at.
Great, great, great. Chalo, thank you. Again, I think it is just great to see that, whatever messaging that, we usually give, it is coming, from yourself as well. You are reiterating the fact, and I constantly tell this, that ये जो तुम्हारी CA की degree है, या ACCA की, या CPA की degree है, they will get you only to that interviewer's room. उसके बाद में,
Absolutely.
उसके
Yeah,
बाद
yeah,
में तो
absolutely. Yeah.
tumko at a same level you will be grilled. Yeah, so it is important that you don't start to undermine yourself already. अरे वो सीए बैठा हुआ है, शायद उसको जॉब पहले मुझसे मिल जाएगी. अगर तुम वहां बैठे हुए हो, it is because they think that you have the potential. Yeah, so don't undermine yourself just because you've done something which traditionally सबने नहीं किया हुआ है. We are a country, of course, which is very traditional, but at the same time we are very fast moving as well, and we are seeing a lot of dynamics changing, and before you know it there will be जैसे CFA आज से कई साल पहले, अब तो CFA सब जानते हैं, बट CFA आज से
Yeah.
कई साल पहले जब आया था लोग बोलते क्या है, कौन करेगा, एनालिस्ट लोग क्या करते हैं, वो नंबर क्रंचिंग किसका काम है. But you look at it now, the CFAs are getting into one of the largest IBs, making crores and crores of money, right? So
True.
it is important that people accept that change will happen. Change is the only thing which is permanent. So it will constantly keep happening. You need to make sure कि not only तुम अपने सिर्फ क्वालिफिकेशन पे, अगर मैं सिर्फ ACCA लेके हर जगह जाता, भाई देखो मैं ACCA हो गया, मुझे आप तुम लाखों रुपए का पैकेज दो, मुझे कोई लेता नहीं. I have to make sure that I understand the local markets as well. If I am going to EY, I just couldn't go with my IFRS knowledge. I also had to do a bit of a work around कि भाई अगर मैं audit के लिए जाता हूँ, what are some of the forms that get filled, what are the timelines that gets asked, what are the typical taxation questions that get asked. So don't just rely कि, और ये सिर्फ आपको as an ACCA नहीं, आपको CA भी करना पड़ता है. Yeah, so it is not something कि आपने पढ़ाई कर ली और आपको आप कोई भी कॉलेज, जैसे बहुत से लोगों को लगता है आपने IIM से MBA कर लिया तो आपको हार पहना के 2 करोड़ का पैकेज मिल जाता है. Anant and I have been around long enough to know that that is not the case. सिर्फ पेपर
Yeah,
में
yeah. I
4
think
लोग आते हैं, उन्हीं को मिलता है ये.
Yeah, I think that's not the truth also. I mean, you have to keep yourself updating. Just getting
Exactly.
one degree will not lead to you. As you said, it will lead to the doorstep, but आगे जाके you will have to develop yourself continuously to progress in your life. Otherwise, you will not progress also. Even if you get into any of the big fours or for industry anywhere, to progress in the career, you will have to keep updating yourself, and these all additional degrees or additional courses, or your hard work, your quest for learning, your wanting to be ahead of others will help you go ahead. Otherwise, just a degree will not uh, help you to progress in your life. You will be you will be getting entry, but How will you move up the ladder unless you update yourself? I think if you see in a chartered accountant course also, what we have learned, what I have learned is completely changed now. What we learned in the accounting standard is changed, completely changed. The Companies Act 1956 is now completely gone and changed to 2013. So whatever we have learned is now unlearned, and we are also now learning new things. Now all the act, all service tax act and all everything, indirect tax is all gone. Now it's been replaced by GST. So it's all a learning process. You have to keep yourself updating yourself. Otherwise, you would be out of the race if you don't update yourself. Just if I were to have just dependent on the CA degree, nothing in my curriculum is now
Yeah,
applicable now. It's all completely changed now. Yeah,
exactly. Exactly. So I think the key message here is that, you will need to constantly learn and update yourself. Yeah.
yeah,
Don't just simply rely कि मेरे पास में एक degree आ गई है. Now I am good to go and I will take this degree from an intern to a CFO level. It is going to be a constant learning process, and not to forget, it is full of challenges. ना अनंत बोलेगा कि हाँ मैं डायरेक्टर बन गया बड़े आराम से, मैं बस वहां 18 साल निकाला और मुझे लोगों ने प्लेट पे लाके प्रमोशन दिया है. और ना ही मैं, when I was a director at UBS Bank, starting my journey as a as an intern at Ernst and Young to becoming a director at associate director at UBS, it was easy. It is full of challenges. Yeah, so please be ready for it. But coming to my another question, which is very common by the way, Anand, and you'll be surprised, is that लोग बोलते हैं कि as someone who is say in an international qualification अगर कोई pursue करता है, would they be able to do practice, or is there a way to actually be in a practice for someone? जैसे मैं ICC हूँ, अब मैं EY में था, मुझे पता है, right? But from your perspective, you think that is possible?
Yeah, I think that's what I said. With the globalization, a lot of companies are like, reporting to the other countries. So they would need someone who has the knowledge of the standards of those countries, not maybe so well versed with India, but, well versed with the regulatory requirements or the laws and regulations of those countries. So they would definitely keep the positions open for those who actually do the specialized courses, or who has the specialized knowledge of those countries. So there would be positions open even with the international courses. Otherwise people would not have been going for this international courses, right?
Exactly.
So there are a lot of that's what as I said, there are a lot of with the globalization, as I said, a lot of companies are opening up to outside India also. Indian companies are opening up to the there are a lot of acquisitions which is happening outside India also by Indian companies. The same way, there are a lot of venture capital funds which is coming in India. So they would be wanting, there would be a lot of reporting requirements. There will be a lot of, other than your normal statutory, audits and accounting, there would be a lot of reporting which will happen. There will be a lot of, information exchanges which would be happening within the countries, and that would require a lot of accounting and regulatory aspects coming into picture. So I think this would require a specialized knowledge of people who would that would, and your international courses would help in getting into those positions. So,
Super, super, super. And I think the key message here is obviously is that not only the international, the MNCs, but our Indian companies who are now becoming MNCs, we will have the opportunity to work with these organizations.
yeah,
Now,
yeah,
whether you work with them in their accounts department or you work with the big fours, the audit firms in their assurance departments. And like you rightly said, when people think about big four, they only think about audits. Like you rightly said, there are so many other roles as well. There is a whole
yeah,
branch of advisory जहाँ कितने सारे टैस है और पता नहीं क्या क्या अभी तो मुझे याद भी नहीं है, but there were so
yeah,
many
yeah,
multiple departments that were out there which people can go to. But I think एक चीज है, and I think हमने कई बारी क्लास में मैंने जोक किया है, and I don't know if I have done this with you or not, but अगर मुझे भी अगर कोई प्रैक्टिस ओपन करनी है आज के टाइम पे, yeah, and I know for a fact that there is enough clientele out there who will be willing to come to me for the audit. It is very easy for say someone like me to pair up with someone like you, है ना आनंद?
Yeah.
I can always come to you कि आनंद तुम और मैं मिलके काम करते हैं, एक प्रैक्टिस शुरू कर देते हैं. You know, you will be able to sign the financials. I will be able to bring the clients. We both can do the audit. Audit तो सेम ही है. You know, वो rules and
True.
regulations सेम ही है. Sign तुम करो और client मैं लेके आता हूँ. And I think people completely, you know, disregard this as a working, you know, proposition, which is such a great, I think, पार्टनरशिप आर द वे फॉरवर्ड. आज के टाइम पे इंडिविजुअल आदमी को प्रैक्टिस चलाना वैसे ही डिफिकल्ट है, राइट?
Yeah.
So, you know, especially people down in south, I know so many who have actually done this, लेकिन अभी तक लोग एक्सेप्ट नहीं कर पाते हैं. But because you come from EY, जहाँ you also said that you work for SR Bartley Boy, लेकिन है वो EY. So maybe if you can throw some light कि वहाँ क्या हुआ है, so that people know that this has been around forever. It is not something that is happening
Yeah,
only.
I mean, from a regulatory perspective, if you know, a chartered, foreign firms cannot,
Exactly.
sign any financials in India. So they need to be a chartered accountant for firm, chartered accountant of India. You know, so that's the regulatory requirement and that's the restriction. But if you see audit per se, audit is globally the same. What we do here is the same audit as what we do in UK or what we do in US or anywhere else in the world. There would be some would be more stricter, some process, but the audit process per se is the same. If you see, if you have to audit, cash and bank, it's like what you will do in India, you will do the same thing in UK or for any other country. So the audit process is actually globalized and it is all similar across the globe. So I think that is given. However, there are certain restrictions, as you said. Yes, you will not be able to sign a financials as audited. If you have to sign that, you will have to be a chartered accountant and in practice to do
Uh-huh.
the same. Like, if, for example, even I can't sign financials right now because I don't have that certificate of practice
Exactly.
uh, to do the same. So you will have to be in practice, and then you can get that certificate of practice to sign the certificate. And yes, obviously, if you see, there are a lot of people who are not CAs also there in our firm. Those who are pursuing CAs or those who have started doing CA but unfortunately could not complete that CA. But they are also there in the firm, so they are also doing the audit. They are also helping us in the audit process. So I think that should not be a restriction. So even if you are not a chartered accountant, as you said that a chartered accountant in practice, I don't think so. There will be any restriction if he uses the work of some other experts or some other people who are experts in the other field and their respective knowledge can be used to do the audit. I think that can be done. Finally, it's the responsibility of the chartered accountant who
Exactly.
signs the financials. So how he gets the work done, from whom he gets the work done. I think that can be looked at, and this model can be worked out. Surely, this should not be a restriction.
Wow. And I'm so glad you also mentioned the fact that even at a big four, there are so many people who are still pursuing, you know, CA course and they've not been able to successfully clear it. But they are very much in the firm and they are doing well as well. You and I both know quite a few who, you know, could not become a CA, but they're still at good position. They are still, you know, doing well. Of course, they are not doing phenomenally well because वो CA का जब
Yeah, yeah.
exam
You
देना
will be
पड़ता था.
correct. You will not be after a point in time. You will not be maybe progress or
हाँ, मतलब
taken
मैनेजर
to
के
the
ग्राउंड
next
में जा
level.
पाओगे.
Yeah, yeah. So you cannot be taken to the next level maybe,
Yeah,
but then you have a career. I mean, you can and with this experience, I think you can do good anywhere in the industry as well.
exactly. Exactly. No, so I think this is another very important thing that you guys need to understand is that not everyone who is working at a big four firm is signing the financials. Like Anant, who is say a deputy partner, the way I look at it, even he is not signing the financials. Financial sign sirf was your partner karta hai. Because of course, you know, the position comes with a liability. Of course, it comes with a lot of perks as well, but it comes with a lot of liabilities as well. It's sirf was your partner karta hai. So if you think that you want to work in audit It is not necessarily कि तुम्हारे पास में भी COP, which is a certificate of practice होना चाहिए. You can work in that sector nice and easy, right? So I'm very glad that we picked that up. So of course we are very nearing to our time, of completion of this session. So before we start to take any questions, जैसे तो हमने काफी सारी चीजें डिस्कस करी है, I'm hoping ज्यादा नहीं होंगे. But if there is a key message, Anant, from you, अगर कोई यहाँ बैठा हुआ है जो ACCA है या CA है या परस्यू कर रहे हैं, अगर उनको जॉब के लिए अगर अप्लाई करना है, से एट EY फॉर एग्जांपल, व्हाट इज इट दैट यू विल सजेस्ट देम, कंसिडरिंग कि तुमको पता है सारे राउंड्स क्या होते हैं, तुमको पता है रिक्वायरमेंट्स क्या होती है, तुमको पता है जॉब्स क्या होते हैं, व्हाट इज इट दैट यू थिंक दीज स्टूडेंट्स कैन डू?
Yeah, as I said, don't just focus only on the degree. I mean, degree is important to get you there, but it's the overall grooming that is important. And it's not only the degree and your hard work. I think that is the key to any, successful career, because you need to be smart, hardworking. You need to, groom yourself well, along with your, technical skill. Because most of the peers, they will, take you for granted that if you have done some degree, some courses, you would be thorough with those, technical knowledge. But apart from that, how you groom yourself or how you present yourself, that will be key. And what I would suggest is, what you're doing is you're investing for your future. Whatever hard work you do, channelize it properly, and your goal should be, clear. This is very easy to say that, what's your goal, and that's a important, question which is asked generally. What is your goal, or where do you see after 10 years, 5 years from now, and all. But you should spend time thinking about it. What you want to do in your life, what's your future goals, and then channelize your efforts accordingly. Because it should not happen that you pursue something and you don't want to continue in future. So whatever you do it with passion. Do it with confidence, and continue to do it. Excel in that. You should be known that if this is the person to go to if I have any issue relating to this, any problem. If I have, this is the person to go to. I think that is where you should look. Be futuristic. See, invest in whatever you're doing. You're actually investing in the future. So, yeah.
Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Thank you so much. I think Anant ने थोड़े hint भी दिए हैं that what are the kind of questions you may get asked. So I think it's important that you should be able to show that you are future ready, as well as you have a perspective which is not just about कि मुझे अभी job चाहिए, but ये job लेके मैं अगले 5 साल में कहाँ जाना चाहता हूँ. I think that is more important because look, the companies are not, when they are hiring you, they don't hire you so that तुम 3 महीने 6 महीने में तुम छोड़ के चले जाओ. They want to see you in an organization for a good few years because they invest in you. The first 6 months is all about companies investing in you. So you need to show an organization, for example, if Anant is interviewing, you need to be able to convince him that you are worth that investment. Yeah, because for EY, for any other big firms, it is huge money. Yeah, a wrong hire can easily lead to lakhs and lakhs of rupees of losses. Now, I will not go into how it is calculated, but as managers, I can tell you that a lot of money goes behind hiring people, training people, putting you into client-facing role, only to realize कि तुम कुछ कर ही नहीं पा रहे हो, right? So the key message here is that don't go with the perception कि मेरा CA ACCA हो गया अब तो मैं top हो गया हूँ. You need to go in being very humble. Make sure that you understand your technical standards really well. It is no longer about कि वो CA है तो उसको preference मिलेगा, मैं ACCA मुझे नहीं मिलेगा. Once you're in that interview room, you're all on par. Because when you go to Big Four, तुम वहां किसी को ये नहीं बोल सकते अरे मैं तो सी हूँ क्योंकि वहां सारे सी हैं. वहां तुम अपने आप को नहीं, तुम बाहर मार्केट में कर सकते हो. But when you are in that organization, everyone is on par. You show your expertise on maybe the technical skills, on the client management, on being able to problem solve, and there are multiple things that you can do in these organizations. Of course, with that remaining 9-10 minutes, I would now want anyone who's there in the session, to drop their questions in a chat box. And if there is anyone leaving, I think there is a feedback form that can be shared. Let me see अगर वो आ गया है मेरे पास में. But in the meantime, while I figure out the feedback form किधर है, if you guys have any questions for Anant sir, please, do drop in now. I would like us to maybe take a couple of questions before we wrap up. Yeah. Okay. So the feedback form is here in the chat box. Please, click on the feedback form. I will take that feedback form and I will also post it on our YouTube channel while people are putting their questions in chat. अगर कोई chat से uncomfortable है, let me just unmute you. Well, I will allow you guys to unmute yourself as well if anyone wants to unmute now. Unmute हो पाया हो ना? I don't know.
Yeah, sorry.
People are able to unmute, right? Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Something, if people want to ask, they can ask. This is not an interview. So
exactly.
You can feel free to ask the questions.
Yeah. ये तुम्हारे EY के इंटरव्यूज पे बिल्कुल इम्पैक्ट नहीं करेगा.
Yeah. I will not remember you.
चलो, श्रीजीत, रेशमा, हितांशी, these are my students. I know them. So if they would want to ask anything, क्योंकि तुम लोग हमेशा पकड़ते हो मुझे, सर प्रैक्टिस में मिलेगा कि नहीं मिलेगा. You have now someone from practice at a very senior level. So ask your questions.
I think all the interviewer wants to see, the hunger and the passion. Hunger to join the whichever, I think, whatever firm or whatever industry, wherever you want to join. That hunger should be there. That yes, you want to join this, and we, as Rajeev said, that it's not short term. We always want to see in a long term how this person would make a mark, because finally you would be the ambassador of the firm or the industry, because especially in our firm you would be the ambassador of our firm, because you would be meeting the client day in day out, you would be interacting with them, so they would carry a impression of the firm through you, how you are dealing with them.
Exactly. Yeah. So you are the ambassador of the organization. Yeah. So you need to be not only technically smart but well groomed as well. I think अभी भी EY में वो टाई लगा के जाना पड़ता है क्या clients के वहाँ?
No.
अभी बंद कर दिया.
It depends. I mean, it depends on the client now. I think with the globalization, I think this change is also coming in. Globally also now people don't wear ties.
Okay.
So
चलो,
if your
back
client,
in the day.
if your client wears, we sometimes do wear it. I mean, or it depends on the meetings at what level you would be.
Yeah, true. Just so people know, like back in the day, EY में रूल था कि जब तुम क्लाइंट साइड पे होगे तुमको टाई पहनना पड़ेगा, इररिस्पेक्टिव तुमको टाई पहनना पड़ेगा. स्पेशली जैसी पार्टनर आ जाते थे रिव्यूज के लिए तो सारे टाई पहन लेते थे. So I think that was fun time. Okay, thank you, Shrijit. I appreciate that your questions have been answered. No one else has any questions. I'm glad कि हमने इतनी बात करी. अनंत, I don't think so हम इतना बात वैसे भी करते हैं. So आज अपना भी कैचअप हो गया नहीं. आज अपना भी अच्छा कैचअप हो गया. So this is I think quite good. And in that conversation, I am hoping that a lot of people have benefited, and they will continue to benefit. As I said, I will put this on YouTube so that people can overhear this conversation, and they do benefit from this. Okay, so I think if there are no more questions, I am more than happy to give you your 4 minutes back. I know tum shadi mein busy ho. Just so you guys know, Anant is not in town and he's been away for a wedding, and despite that, bless him, he took out the time for all of us So really, thanks to
My
you,
pleasure.
Anant.
No.
Really, I appreciate it. People who want to connect with Anant, I'm sure he's there on LinkedIn. You can always connect with him on LinkedIn, or you can come through to me. Whatever questions you may have, I will be more than happy to get answers to you. As I said, this session is all about getting any of your myths around how to work or get a job in a practice or do well in a practice, right? So with that, thank you everyone. Any lasting things, Anand, before we just wrap up?
No, no, that is my pleasure to be in this session. As I said, anybody, if you has any questions, they can come to you, come to me. I would be happy to help.
Chalo. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Anand. It was a pleasure having you here.
Thanks.
Have a fantastic wedding out there.
Yeah,
Take care of
thank you.
yourself, and I will
Yeah,
speak
yeah,
to you very soon. You take care. And thank you,
yeah.
everyone, for joining the session. Really nice of all of you to join the session in. We hope that you benefit from this. Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Take care.
Thanks.
Bye bye.
Thanks.